Everyone, welcome to BlueSync on Thursday, May 14th, 2026. Thanks for joining us today. We are going to be talking about our new online marketing order process. Some of the tweaks we made since the last time we talked about this, some tips and tricks for our agents that you guys can help them in the office complete some of these orders, and just share some of the knowledge that we have learned since we've been launched now for a little over 2 weeks. So we're pretty excited about the product, but like anything new, there's going to be just a few little kinks to work out. There's going to be a little bit more training that we need to provide and a little bit more help for our agents. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So first, we're going to head over to Schmidt Resources. We're going to go to our marketing square right here. And then you're going to see a brand new banner at the top. So when we first kind of released this process, this banner was not here yet. So that's the first place I want to start with talking about our new online ordering process. It says need marketing. We've got you covered. Click here to get started. So the first main hurdle sometimes is that banner is so big, sometimes agents miss it. They're looking for a square down here. So make sure if they're asking, say, head to that banner at the top. Also, what we've come across is some agents, which is great for them, they've bookmarked the old site. So if they have a bookmark link in their browser, it may be taking them to a disabled page. So the best thing they can do there is kind of delete that bookmark, clear their cookies, and then go ahead and go back to Schmidt Resources and go back into that banner there at the top, because we did have an agent bookmarked an old link so she could get back to it quickly, which was great, but it was taking her to the old form. So clear cookies, delete old bookmarks, and then re-add those. So when you click on need marketing, you'll see now that we have 3 options right here. So we did put a few little notes here at the bottom. They're kind of hard, small on the screen to read, and they're light gray, but they are there. When you have them on your own screen, they're a little bit easier to read. So our 3 options are our digital assets. As always, all the design work from our amazing designers is complimentary to the agents. So if they're not purchasing a paper product, if they are only getting a digital design, so that's either a Facebook or Insta post, or maybe it's a flyer that they want to print in the office themselves, or maybe it's a flyer that they want to take to a local printer, that would be considered a digital asset. They're not purchasing a paper product. If they are purchasing a paper product, postcards, name badges, business cards, posters, note cards, whatever it might be, that's when they're going to launch into printed materials. This will be where they will provide their payment up front, and then the design team will reach back out within 24 hours to get them more information if they need it, but likely to go ahead and send them a proof of their project. Once they approve the proof, they've already paid for the product. It goes straight into fulfillment. And then depending on what the agent chose, that will either ship to them or they'll go ahead and pick that up locally in Holland if it's an option for those agents. And then our third option is yard signs. So much like the form the agents used previously, this is an intake form. So this intake form will be filled out by the agent or the office if it's an office need. And then they'll answer all the questions, and then Jody Knott takes over, and she does a lot of hard work to make sure that we are getting the best pricing for our agents. So there is no actual payment information on the yard sign intake form. Jody will reach back out and say, hey, you have these options, you have these options, you wanted 2, but if you add 1 more, it's maybe only $10 more. Just kind of talks through that so that she's making sure that she gets the best deal for the agents. Once that conversation happens, after she receives that form, we then send the agent an invoice right to their inbox. They fill out that invoice, provide their credit card information. Jody's notified, and she goes through with that fulfillment process. So those are our 3 buckets of ways that our agents can order things that they need from the marketing group, depending on what they need. Digital assets, no printed product, design work, Facebook posts, flyers that they're printing in-house or in their own office, those type items. Printed materials is anything physical, deliverable, postcards, business cards, flyers, door hangers, whatever that paper product is. And then of course, yard signs would be yard signs, riders, directionals, what the agent needs there. I did see a comment or 2, so let me go ahead and switch my screen over so I can read those. I will hit the office orders at the end. We're going to talk about the agent process first, and then we'll jump over to the office process, Risa. And yep, Brenda, we'll cover that in a little bit. So pause on that. And if I forget at the end, feel free to unmute and holler at me. So for the agent, if they're like, yep, I really need to get new business cards, I'm going to go ahead and go here and click printed materials. Then you'll see that this is our new quote unquote storefront for the agents. So business cards is right here, name badges. If they need a brochure, feature sheets, folders, customized folders for the agents, presentation books, blue books, black books, standard or customized. And then trifold brochures, note cards. You can see we're not quite done building out the store yet. We've been working really hard on the process, not as much on the images, so those are coming. But all of these order now links are live. So don't let that deter the agent. If they're like, hey, I need labels because I'm doing, a mailing for my house and I need to order labels, they can absolutely go ahead and order those. Now, before we jump into showing you an actual form, I wanted to point out these two options because this has caused a bit of confusion. And that's okay. We're working through it. We're tweaking. If you've been in the forms, you'll notice that they're kind of changing almost daily right now as we get feedback. And your feedback is vitally important. I got some today from an ASC, so make sure you either call me, G-chat me, or email me with that feedback. Doesn't mean we can absolutely make the process work in that particular way, but definitely need that feedback so we can tweak it when it makes sense. So we actually have two options of postcards. The first options you're going to see here is unaddressed and shipped to you. So this is an agent, maybe they want to farm their neighborhood, maybe they want to handwrite those addresses, so it's a little bit more personal. They can go ahead and order the postcard, small, large, jumbo. They can have them pre-postage right on that, so they don't have to go buy stamps or do any of that themselves, but they want to get those pre-postage postcards sent to them. That's the option they're going to choose here. They're going to do their design, whether it's just listed, just sold, whatever that design might be. They're going to let the designers know if they want to purchase postage at the time. If they don't, that's okay. If they want to stamp them, that's also an option. But then those physical postcards are mailed to the agent, and then the agent's responsible for addressing them and getting them to the post office. Our other option is our direct mail farming, and it's just what it says. Reading some of these descriptions will help everybody. Postcards printed, addressed, postage, and mailed to the consumer. The agent never touches this product. This is automatically filled out with a mailing list, and we'll talk about that in a minute. They choose how many they want to send. They choose their postage based on how many they're sending and the size they're sending. And then they provide payment, and then the design team goes to work. They already have the address, because it has to be uploaded before they can order the cards. The design team will send that proof over to the agent. The agent will approve that proof. And then the design team will go through fulfillment. They'll print the postcard with the postage, with the address, take it to the post office. The agent never touches the product at all whatsoever. So two different options for postcards. And I know in our brains, we think postcards, it's the same, but that's the difference there. One is being mailed for the agent right here. One is being mailed to the agent, so the agent can then address them. Also, maybe the agent wants a postcard because they're going to hand it out. Maybe they're doing a expo or they're at a buyer seminar. Maybe they want something to physically hand to a consumer. That would also be able to be ordered in this postcard section here, because they don't have to purchase the postage if they don't want to. They can just get that card ordered. So a couple different options here. Again, if you have any questions or if your agent's struggling a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and jump back one screen. Head over to the marketing square and click on that first option here, and the design team is going to come up. There's contact information, phone numbers, email addresses. This team is amazing. They will get back to the agent, answer the question, talk through the form if the agent's having a problem, in a way the agent will be able to go. So make sure that you're pointing out to the agents, or if you guys are struggling to answer questions for the agents, just head over to that design team, and then they will get the answers that you need. So we're going to walk through a little bit of an easier form, and then we'll jump into postcards. So say you just need a new business card for your agent. And I actually got really good feedback from the Northern Michigan manager meeting yesterday. We had two different people fill this form out, and they said it was the easiest thing they've ever done. So that's amazing feedback. I loved that feedback. So when you click order now, you're going to see this form come up. Reading is super important, right? We're all in a hurry. We all want to get this done as fast as possible, but just take that extra second to read what the questions are asking. Name, email, your office location is a drop down. Phone number, website, because that would be printed on the post or on the business card, of course. And then this section right here. If you're anywhere outside of Lakeshore, maybe a little bit into Grand Rapids, you don't even have to worry about this. Just click no, because you're not physically there in Holland to pick it up. I'm in Traverse City. If I'm ordering business cards, I got to pay for shipping. I'm not driving down to Holland to pick them up. But if you're in Holland, Saugatuck, maybe even South Haven, and you can stop by and pick those cards up, you can click yes. It's going to provide a coupon code, and it explains exactly what to do with that coupon code. If the agent's going to pick up their product, they need to copy that coupon code. And then when they're done filling out their form, and we'll go back to the top in a minute, they have to enter that coupon code right here and click apply. That's going to remove the shipping cost. Again, this is a very small part of the company. It's just in and around the Holland office. That pickup is an option for them. Everybody else, Northern Michigan, Ohio, Florida, they'll just click no right on that question about the pickup. That box with that coupon code isn't going to be shown to them. They don't have to worry about it. They put in their shipping address. They can choose to ship it to the office, or they can choose to ship it to their home. It's up to them what they want to put in here. So they can put in their shipping address. They can upload their headshot. They can upload their logo. Maybe they have their own logo that they want on their business card. You can add more information, give the designer as much information as you possibly can on the front end. That'll make this process a lot smoother. And then we have our options here, but you'll see if your agent doesn't really like any of these, or if they're not quite sure if that's the design they want, they also have custom as an option. They choose the option that they would like to get printed. If they have a preferred designer, they can choose the name from the list. It will auto default to no preference. And it'll say right here, subject to change. We all take vacations, right? We're all unfortunately get sick once in a while. If we have a preferred person that's out, somebody else may reach out to that agent, because you'll see right there, it's super important for the team. They reach out in 24 hours. That's a pretty quick turn when it comes to some design options. So if they have a preference, great, choose that. Likely that designer will be able to reach out, but on that off shot, they're out of the office for whatever reason, somebody else will reach out within 24 hours. Michelle, I'll address that here in a little bit. So good question. This is a new spot. So if you've done any ordering prior to 2 days ago, you didn't have this option, but it was important to us because we realized I had missed that step on this. So we've added this to every form. Desired completion date. If it's Wednesday and it was an oh shoot moment, I forgot to order open house flyers, you're going to want to put Friday, and hopefully you can pick those up because you're not probably going to get them overnight. Maybe designers will have that conversation. But if you're just ordering business cards because you're getting low and you're like, yeah, this really I can wait 2 weeks. It's not that urgent. Make sure you put in your desired completion date. Of course, based on prioritization and things like equipment maintenance. I mean, the team tries super hard to hit these deadlines. It doesn't always happen, but they do their best to make sure those deadlines are hit. But if you could encourage the agents to be honest with their actual date of completion is, that would help the team, because they will prioritize those that need them faster than others. And then we're near the end. You pick how many cards do you want? Do you want 100? Do you want 1,000? Do you want 5,000? And then when you choose these options, you'll see the price will change there. So 100 cards is going to cost you this. 1,000 cards is going to cost you that. And then it will calculate your tax, which got to pay Uncle Sam, right? We all do. Shipping cost, and then it gives you a total cost. And then the agent will fill out their credit card with their name, their card number, their day, and then their CVV, which is that code. American Express is 4 digits on the front. All their cards are those 3 digits on the back. And then if they are getting foil, if they choose that, they can choose their color there. And then we give them an option to upload even more information. Maybe they had a card of a coworker they really liked and they want to send that example. That's an option here. And then any other notes they want to type in here, or if they have a link to a high-res photo, they can copy and paste a link right into this box. So a lot of different options for them to get the information over to the designer on the front end. And then once they filled that form out, they click submit. This is where the magic happens. It goes over to the marketing group's project management board. It's assigned to the designer. based on that preference if one is chosen. If not, if no preference, then it goes to whoever has the most capacity. They will reach out with the proof. It will be approved by the agent, and then that will go into fulfillment and ship. It all happens behind the scenes once that agent clicks submit. Now let's go back a screen here and talk postcards just a little bit, since that is a little bit more complicated than what the process is for ordering things like brochures or business cards or name badges. So again, we talked about the two different options. If you're ordering postcards that you are going to have shipped to you, again, that's that first option. And it explains it again right here. It kind of asks, is this what you really want, or do you want us to mail it for you? Because if you want us to mail it for you, you need to head over to the other form. And so on here, you just click start, you start filling in your information. Again, I'm just using my autofill on my browser to make it go a little bit faster. And then you'll see it has things like shipping address, your region. So this is a little bit magic behind the scenes. This is how we have to calculate tax, because every region is a little bit different. So it may seem like a silly question, but it's there for a reason. So if the agents are asking, now you'll know why. You'll be like, oh, well, that's your tax rate. So choose your region in which you're having these shipped to. Again, do you have a preference on a designer? Or if not, they will assign one for you. No problem there. And then if they have the address to the property, or it's a property title, because maybe it's just, XYZ neighborhood, but it's not 123 Main Street. So they can put in what the name of that project is right here. If they have just listed or just sold, they can choose that option. Anything else is going to be that third option there, custom. It's great if it's not just listed, just sold. The design team can do whatever they are asked to do, but this kind of helps give them direction on what the order is for by answering that question. Desired completion date, for the reasons we just discussed. Upload images if they have them, pictures of the house, their headshot, whatever it might be, they upload those images there. And then we get into the nitty gritty of the postcards. So you'll see, make sure you encourage your agents to scroll, because there may be another option hidden down there. And it will all depend on how they're zoomed in or out. These are all mobile friendly, and they can order these on their phone if they choose, on the office iPad if you're helping them. But do know that if you're not seeing your option, just scroll a little bit and it'll show up. And then how many are you ordering? 1 to 199, 500 to 9, whatever that is. And then the next option, it will let you put in your actual number. If you choose the wrong one on your first screen, the system's not going to let you choose outside of that range. So if it's red, it'll give you that little notice there, and you'll be able to know. If you're like, gosh, I really did need 450, there's a previous button. Do you see our tracker here at the bottom? You can always go back and change your answers. So as you're going through this process, if you're like, oh, I didn't mean to check that one, I needed the other one, previous, or you'll see down here, you can go to any one of these little dots and go backwards in the process. So user-friendly for the agents. What type of postage, if it's small, if it's large, or if it's none. So remember, we're in the postcard order that we're gonna have those shipped to me because I want to hand address them. Maybe I want to put a cute stamp on it and I went to the post office and bought some, so I'm going to choose none. If I want the design team to print the postage right on the card for me, so all I'm doing when I receive them is putting in that address, but handwriting it and putting it in my mailbox, they can choose to do that too. Ship to me, again, everybody outside of the Holland Market is going to be shipped to me. Anybody inside the Holland Market can go ahead and use that coupon code. Additional information, because we want to know as much as possible from the agent before this order is even submitted. And then it'll give them the total. And again, it's for everything that they just chose: postcards, postage, tax, and shipping if applicable, because again, if they're using the coupon code, that comes off. And then their credit card, and then submit. But even when you get very end here, you'll see all of this is still here, and they can back right out. So if they're not sure what they chose and they want to review it, they can go through, it saves all their answers, and they can review and update that on any given screen there. I think I had a question, so let me back up here just a little bit. Sherry's question is a good one. Is there any time restrictions if you have the postcards postmarked for when they need to be mailed out? Sherry, I have to get clarity from the team on that. So I'm guessing you're saying the marketing team prints it on a Tuesday and mails it to me. I'm procrastinating and I don't get them out to the next week. Is that pose a problem? I'm not real sure, but I'll find out.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes, because I know I have heard that when we use our, and I don't have a postage meter anymore, but we do a postcard for the office. So I'm like, oh, if I could have them stamped, but we might not mail them for a month, is that an issue with the post office?
Okay, I will definitely find out. If anybody from the design team is on and knows the answer, feel free to unmute, but we'll definitely get clarity on that because that will be important. Thank you. Oops, wrong screen. Okay, so we're going to go back now a screen. Great question. So that was all postcards unaddressed and shipped to you. Now we're going to talk a little bit about this direct mail farming. And again, postcards printed, addressed, postage, and mailed to the consumer directly. The agent never puts a hand on the physical card. Beautiful thing, right? But a little complicated. So this form looks a lot like the postcard form, but there's different options. And the first option is going to say, do you have your mailing list to upload? Yes, great. The next screen is, guess what? Upload your list. No, it's going to give them a no. Like, oh, that's great, but you need to order your list first. So it's going to push them over to the marketing group site that we already looked at to have that conversation. Now, the good news is we are creating a form that will actually allow the agent to order that mailing list right from this screen. That system's just not quite built out yet. So today, if they have their list, great, they click yes, and they're going to continue through the process. They upload their CSV or their Excel, and they're off to the races on the process. If they choose no, it's going to let them know to reach out to a designer first, have that conversation. The designer will help them get that list, and then they'll be able to order their card. Future state, hopefully within the next week, this screen will automatically take them to the order form to order the mailing list. 10 cents an address. It's done through the title company, so the addresses are legit, and they'll be off to the races. So let's just say I have my list. Yep, I'm good to go. I'm going to upload that list. Let me just find an Excel so it'll accept it and click next. Now, let me explain the reason why. The reason why we forced the list prior is because we were having a lot of problems with agents not knowing how many postcards to order. Is my list 100 or is my list 1,000? It obviously is vastly different when it comes to payment time based on that question. So that's why we want the agent to have the list prior to ordering the card. But again, we're going to make it super simple for them to order that mailing list if they need help getting their mailing list. If they have a farm list and they use it all the time, they have it, no problem. Just upload it and they'll go through the ordering process. Maybe it's their sphere of influence. You know, maybe they know that they're ordering 50 because they send the same 50 people a postcard every month. They'll be able to just upload that list and continue on in the process. So once that list is uploaded, we just go through the same process. A lot of this is going to look the same as it did in the other form. It's all that pertinent information that the design team will need. Choose your office. Designer if they have a preference. And you're going to see, much like the postcard option, the direct mail farming has our little progress bar at the bottom and our previous button. We can go back and forth on this so that we feel good about how we answered that question. If they would like to review how much they're going to be paying for these prior to ordering it, they can click yes, and you're going to see it's going to take them into that screen. It explains how much per postcard and how much per postage, so the total of that card. So if I'm sending a large postcard between $1 and $199, that total cost for that postcard is going to be $1.48. Direct mail does not have any shipping costs and it does not have any tax, so that is your cost. So if you're ordering 50 cards, take 50 times 1.48, and that's going to be how much this is going to cost you. If they're like, no, I do this all the time, I know exactly how it's going to cost, they can click no, and that sheet doesn't even show up for them. They pick their size, how many they're ordering, put in the actual number, because it could be, right, it might not, it's not like business cards where you're ordering a subset of 100 or 250 or 500. It could be 46 addresses. It could be 52 addresses. So that's why we need that list first, so that that number will match how many we're ordering. Again, if they pick the small postcard, pick small postage. If they pick the large postcard, pick large postage. If they are ordering over 200, regardless of size, choose bulk. 200 plus says it right here. Anything over 200 plus, they can choose bulk. Click, oops, see, if you forget something, it's going to tell you. It makes it pretty much foolproof. Any more information? Because again, we want as much information as possible. This one's not required. So if your agent doesn't have more info, they're like, no, I got this. My designer's got this. I'm just paying for it. Just click next. It'll give you the total cost. I didn't go through the whole here. I screwed up the form a little bit because I was messing with the settings. 1 through 99. We're going to do 42. We're going to do small. See, it had 2 ordered, so you can't do that. So I'm going to put it back to 1. No new notes. Now my total auto-filled because I chose the right options, and it takes me to my credit card. Again, I can go back and be like, oh, did I do 42 or did I take 44 by accident? You can go back and review that. And then once you're ready to submit for payment, you'll go ahead and click submit. Now, I had mentioned before, this is where the magic starts, right? It goes to the project management board, designer reaches out within 24 hours, and we go through the proofing process. But what also happens as soon as they click submit is they get a receipt. They're going to get a receipt from Jotform explaining exactly what they ordered and how much that cost them. They can keep that in their records for when it comes tax time. If they lose a receipt and they're looking for it, they just reach out and we can provide it to them. But the system will automatically email them saying, thank you so much. We got your order and here's your PDF receipt. So also along that same time they click submit and it's going through the project management portion for the design group, the agent's also getting confirmation with that PDF receipt so they can save that for their files. Now we all know some agents will put it into a folder. Some agents will print it and put it into a paper folder. However they want to keep themselves organized, they have multiple options there. I'm going to go ahead and pause and take a sip of my coffee while we wait for questions. Okay, well, I will address Michelle's question. So Michelle, who sits in our Venice office, which just so happens to be Brandon Century 21 Schmidt Real Estate, asked about, she has new agents. Yes. So the answer is today, if they would like to order a name badge, Michelle, and not hold up, they can go to the CB brand, click custom, put that note in. The design team will reach out. We are going to be duplicating this for the C21 assets. We're just not quite there yet. But they can order that and then just put that note in for the designer, and then the designer will know that they're going through that other branding process. So great question. And are those prices anywhere available prior to showing the order or starting the order? Not current state, but I'll talk to the design team. They used to have a pricing sheet available in Schmidt Resources, but because of paper costs and fuel costs, it changed so frequently that they really did stop posting that because keeping it updated was almost a bigger chore than it was worth. You can put in fake info on that form to get to that page current state, but I will talk to them about possibly getting that listed somewhere else. So great question. Any other questions before we switch gears and go into office? And I know we're a little long today. We'll talk office real quick. And then if you have any questions after the fact, you can reach out. So for the ASCs and their ordering process for their office, they are going to start with the PO process. So they're going to go into people. Oop, I don't think I'm sharing the right. Oh, I am sharing the right screen. Go me. Go into the ASC square. Use that password, which hint, it's on the name of the square. And then they're going to go through that purchase rec process. And then they're going to get their PO number. Once that PO number is emailed to you from accounting, they're going to come right back here and go to marketing print order forms. Not as pretty as the agents, but we're getting there. It will be pretty soon. So they can go ahead and order books for the office, feature sheets, name badges, to that question before, name badges. Click order. And instead of the credit card option, it has the PO number. So what this does behind the scenes is it's going to take the total cost, not make you put a credit card in, but it updates a spreadsheet. That spreadsheet at the end of the month is taken from accounting. Office charges are billed through. So the dollars are still being tracked, but you guys don't have to worry about having a credit card. It's all going to be based on that PO number here. So again, that is in the ASC square in our requisition forms. Get your PO number first. If you have a maintenance issue, that's also here. And then your marketing print order forms. Now, if you're looking for a digital asset, maybe you have something you want to email to your agents. Maybe you're doing an invite that you're going to email. Maybe you're having a potluck, but you want to print a copy too and put it on the front desk. That digital marketing project request form is right here for you guys, just like it was for the agents. So if it's a non-physical product, if you're looking for something digital or something you're going to print in-house, this is the form you fill out. I used this form myself yesterday. I needed a one-page flyer that will be printed in-house at a Harbor Springs office. I filled out this form and it wasn't even, I don't think, 3 hours, and I had my product back. Now, I'm not going to promise the turn's always going to be that quick, but if the office is looking for a digital asset that you're not getting a physical printed copy, that is where you're going to head, right here to that digital marketing project request form. That sign intake form, if you're ordering office signs, that's here too. Fill out that information for Jody, and then she'll be in touch with the next steps. So for the offices, marketing print order forms here, digital marketing project here. And if you have any questions on that PO process, I know there's always a lot of questions about that $100 mark. Just reach out to your leads or your RSCs or myself, and we can, or Lynn, and we can talk through that. But that is the difference between the agents and the office orders. What other questions do you have for me before we go ahead and end the call? I'll give it just another minute. Oh, I'm sorry, I did see a question. Express Docs is still available. If the agents so choose to use Express Docs, they can absolutely do that. If they want the design team to design them, that their digital asset, they can take that proof that they get and upload it in Express Docs and print that way. None of that has changed. That's still an option for the agents if they so choose. Brenda, great question. If you fill out the form, it's going to give you that price at the end. You can then transfer it to the PO. Unfortunately, once you get the PO, you'll have to go back and refill the form out, but it's pretty quick to fill out to get that price. So current state, that's kind of, you fill the form out if you need to get that cost. ASCs would not have to pay for the name badges. Just get that PO request or have Lynn just shoot me an email and we'll go ahead and get that order form through. So if you guys are ASCs and you either never received one or you need a new one, just reach out to Lynn. And then we'll go ahead and go through that PO process and then get those name badges ordered and shipped to you. Great questions. Well, I don't see anything further, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap for today. But again, it's a new process. Things are going to be tweaked. Things are going to be enhanced. We're going to have questions come up, and feedback is vitally important to us so that we can make this as easy as possible for everyone. So thank you guys so much for your time today. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk soon. Bye now.